How's it going, YouTube? Small Engine Kid here. Today we have a FS-38 carburetor that I'm going to be disassembling and showing you guys how to replace or diagnose what needs to be changed. So this is an OEM carburetor from a Zama. So just to begin with, you're obviously going to need a new primer bulb. You can see that's been destroyed from sitting outside. So we're going to take this off, replace it, and then diagnose the rest of the carburetor. So to remove the primer bulb and replace it, you'll have to remove these 4 screws, and those are either a Phillips or a little flathead screwdriver. Once you remove those 4 screws, this should pop off. Okay, put off that to the side. Remove the excess kind of rubber O-ring from the rest of the primer bulb, and then this slides off. Might be hard to, oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, so here you got your diaphragm, and if you push on it, this one's actually completely solid. It's not supposed to be solid. You should be able to push on it and it'll come back, it'll spring back up by itself. But this one is completely solid, so we're going to have to remove this one. Might have to put the camera down and use a little razor blade to take it off. Alright, so here's the diaphragm. Very stiff. As you can see, the old gas is in there. It's the green stuff. It smells horrible. So I'm going to spray this with brake clean and then blow it with a air gun, and then I'm going to get the diaphragm and the primer bulb for this carb. Alright, so this piece, I didn't show you guys, it just goes on here, and there's a little Phillips head screw, and that just goes on there. So this takes it off, and these are your fuel line flaps, which if they're bent in any way at all, I would change them. See if these are bent. This one seems okay. If you push on them, they should bounce right back up. These ones are okay. If you see any holes or any cracks in the places up here, they should be changed. Now over here, for your actual carburetor, you got this little screen. And what this does is when you prime it, the fuel goes through the primer bulb, it goes through the fuel pump, and it builds pressure into the carb so that when you start it, it's primed. Now this little screen stops any little debris from getting through and clogging your fuel system. Now over time, it does get clogged and it stops it from starting, or it gets rusty, or the old gas kind of makes it, I guess, crusty, which this did have a lot of old gas in it. I did clean it with brake clean and some compressed air, so it should be okay. I sprayed brake clean in all the hoses, and it all comes out where it's supposed to. So usually this gets crusty, so what you do is you just pop it out with a little pick or a little screwdriver and then put in a new one. Now a carb kit usually comes with this, but mine looks okay, so I'm not going to replace that. Alright, here's my 2-stroke bin. These are my used carbs, fuel lines, fuel filters, carb kits, Amazon carbs that I use for parts, screws, and stuff like that. That's hard to get for the new stuff, for the OEM stuff, I mean. OEM fuel filters, spark plugs, etc. Now the stuff that we need is in here, and we need a primer bulb and a carburetor kit. Now I'll have to rummage through this and look for one. So I'll get back to you when I get the parts. Alright, I managed to find a diaphragm that's the same size. So all you do is you put that on top, grab your base plate, grab your new primer bulb, put that on top, line up the holes, then you grab this metal plate. It's hard to do one-handed. Grab it, make sure it goes the right way, put it there like that. Get your 4 screws and put them on. Alright, so the flaps look okay. I may or may not change them just because, but the way this goes on, you put your carb up. It can only go one way. This has a curve. This has a curve as well. Flip it over. It goes like this, just like that. And then your 1 bolt, hold it in right there. Alright, and there you have it. We replaced the diaphragm because it was crusty and it wouldn't pump the proper fuel into it. We replaced the primer bulb because it was destroyed. And the fuel pump flap gasket, as well as the base gasket. Now it broke when I took it off, so I thought I would just replace it anyways because I had the parts. And now you got a fully rebuilt, cleaned and rebuilt FS-38 Zama carburetor. Thanks for watching. If you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next how-to small engine video.